I think so, yeah.
Fire away.
Hi everyone, my name is Austin Miller, and I'm the founder of PagerTree. Today, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am and what my business venture is. But first, let me tell you who I am and my objectives for today. So I'm Austin Miller, and I've worked in the IT industry for about 10 years now. During that time, I've been able to work on some of the military's best aircraft simulators, and I've also worked in retail Fortune 500 companies, so I know a little bit about getting things done fast, with reliability, and managing uptime. My goals for today are really two things. I'm looking to build my team, and I need 2 co-founders. The other thing I'm trying to do is get customer referrals. So, as we go through the presentation, if you could help me with those 2 things, it'd be much appreciated. So without further ado, let's get into it. PagerTree is on-call simplified. Can we start it from the first slide? Alright. PagerTree is on-call simplified. So what's the problem? As many of you might have seen in the news, Delta Airlines had to cancel many flights because their system had glitches. Well, that has many problems to it. Number one, they probably lost a lot of money. This causes a lot of downtime. The next thing is that they probably lost a lot of employee time, engineers and managers scrambling to fix the issue. And lastly, they probably lost a lot of customer trust. All those passengers that were on those planes were probably unsure of how the other systems were being managed and reliable. So how do we fix this sort of issue? So the way to do that is you minimize downtime, right? You'll never have 100% uptime, but if you can minimize how much downtime you have, you can probably even prevent your customers even noticing that you have downtime. And that's where PagerTree comes in. PagerTree is a tool that reduces downtime by connecting monitoring systems, aggregating alerts, and providing reliable notifications to engineers on call. So how does it work? The first thing your company will do will create an on-call schedule. The next thing your company will do is forward automated alerts from your systems into PagerTree. Now, using the on-call schedules and the automated alerts will notify the engineer on call via SMS, email, or via voice. They can then respond via our mobile or web app, and then they can look back and see, hey, how did I do and where can I improve? So some of the key features we have are a centralized system. Whenever your engineers are having to work an issue, it's super important that they have all the information in one place. We have a super easy to use and simple interface. We have intelligent routing so that in case you need backups for your engineers on call, or you need to notify more than one person, such as managers, when an incident happens, you can do that as well. We have reliable alerts via the many channels I mentioned earlier. We have performance analytics so you can see how you're doing and how you're performing. And lastly, but most importantly, is we have third-party integration so you can use the tools you already use in your current system. So who would use this sort of product? So other software as a service companies whose revenue relies heavily on 100% uptime would be perfect targets for PagerTree. Web hosting companies that host other websites for businesses would also be a perfect target. And Fortune 500 companies that have internal IT departments could use PagerTree to more effectively communicate outages within the organization. So what's our business model? So our business model, we're a software as a service and we're subscription based. We have easy to understand pricing that's priced at a per user per month basis. Our target are those software as a service companies with 10 or more engineers and the Fortune 500 companies who have 50 or more people within their IT organization. So what are our 2017 goals? Our 2017 goals are to build the founding team. That's why I'm here today. The other thing that we're targeting is to have 50 companies or 1,000 users using the system by the end of the year. So how are we going to do that? Here's a little high overview of our go-to-market strategy. We're currently bootstrapped. Our competitive advantage is that we were actually last to market. And you might be wondering why, but I'll tell you why. We were able to look at our competitors and see what they did wrong and take advantage of those downfalls that they had. That means we have no bloatware and we only have stuff that we're good at, which is the on-call schedules and the reliable alerts. We're the most cost-effective solution in our space, and we're easy to use. Last thing is we plan on growing revenue through partners who already have an established foothold in the IT space. We plan on using education and inbound marketing, and we have a killer referral program, which y'all can check out. So what's our current status? So since we pushed our beta in April of 2017, the product is actually live. We've actually had 18 signups and 4 active users. Our channels of traction that have been the most effective have been search engine optimization and search engine marketing, such as Google AdWords. We also use a little bit of email marketing, and we plan to go to trade shows in the future. So, to summarize, PagerTree is on-call simplified, and our tool basically connects monitoring systems, aggregates alerts, and it also provides reliable notifications to the engineers on call. I want to thank you very much for your time this morning. Thank you. All right.
So, one of the things we always ask is how the community can help PagerTree.
So, absolutely. So, like I started off with, things y'all can help me with. I recently moved from Texas, and I'm looking for connections in customer relations. If you think you know someone who's either on call or in the IT space that could benefit from more uptime and shorter downtimes, please help connect me. And the other thing I'm here looking for are business partners. And I'm looking for 2 specific kinds of business partners. So I'm looking for someone who's had leadership experience, maybe a little bit more gray hair, and is good at closing deals. Okay? The other person I'm looking for is a developer, marketer, someone who could help me, because as I do other things, they can also code, get in the weeds, have customer support, that sort of stuff. So I'm looking for 2 very specific people. If y'all know anybody, please let me know. Thank you.
All right.
Questions, comments? Put it up.
Sure.
So actually, just a comment. I like the way that you actually started the pitch by telling us ahead of time what you're going to be looking for. I think it gives a little time for me to start processing that for you. So it's a different approach. I've never heard anybody do that up front. But since you're not pitching to investors, that was a great way because that's what we have to offer you. So nicely done on that. Also, your presentation is very clean. It's a nice looking presentation.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Maybe, so do you have any case studies or anything showing that it actually reduces the time of things down?
So yes, we actually do. You can find it on our website, and I'd be more than happy to give you the link to that. One of our case studies with one of our clients, we actually saved them 20 minutes on average on their response time. They were a large retailer, and that meant I think it was like $13,000 per incident that they saved.
Did they have a type of competitor software before you, or did they have nothing before you?
So they didn't have a competitor software actually. They were doing it via an old school method where they would actually just page the entire team. So there was actually never anyone just on call. It was just like, oh, we're just going to notify everyone. Absolutely. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much do you charge?
Oh, good question. So we charge $10 per user per month.
Okay.
And that's for unlimited everything. We don't do like the upgrade model. We have a free version for startups, so people that are less than 10 users, and anyone who's over that, which is really who we're targeting, bigger companies, will pay $10 per user.
So that's recipient, $10 per notification recipient?
No, it's just $10 per user per month, the people that are in your system.
So is a user just an IT manager that would receive the notification, or is it if a company has 50 people in it, just the people that receive?
Okay, absolutely. If 50 people are within your organization and you have them signed up within PagerTree, so 50 people are in our system, we're going to charge $50 or $10 per user per month for those 50 people every month, and that's regardless if they get a notification or not.
So if they're like a marketing person who doesn't have anything to do with IT, will also be charged for that person?
If they're in the system, yeah. You probably wouldn't put them in there if they didn't need to get notified.
Oh, okay.
So it's normally going to be people who are in the IT organization, or IT part of the organization.
So how long is the integration process?
So actually the integration process is not that long. You can actually get set up, depending on the tool. Different tools have different ways. I've seen people get set up and it's little as 5 minutes. I've seen other tools take as long as like 30 minutes, just depending on what other tool you're integrating with.
Cool. And then is there a training component of it as well for the people involved?
So there's a little bit of one.
Yeah.
We actually have videos up on our website where you can see kind of how to integrate, but it's really, it's very simple and easy to use interface. There's not too much training involved.
And then would you be willing to, if you could get in with a larger company locally, do a free trial just to work out the bugs, but also be able to take that case study to market?
Absolutely, yes. Okay, yeah, that's much appreciated. Anyone else? I think you had some other slides that maybe you're wondering who our competitors are. Okay, so some of our competitors, just so you kind of get the idea of who's all in this space, there's a company out in San Francisco, they're called PagerTree. Has anyone ever heard of them? Okay, they've almost gotten like 100 billion in investments, but they're still not cash flow positive because I think they're hiring too many people. But they revenue 14.8 million. Victor Ops, they're in Boulder, Colorado. They are also in this space. They're the second largest. And Ops Genie, which I think they're up and coming, and they were actually last to market before me, and I think they were able to learn a lot from these two. I think they're up and coming. And that's kind of who's in this space.
Who's your optimal customer? Like somebody with multiple locations that need streamlined communication between those locations?
Yeah, I mean, really the optimal is they're going to have it in different time zones. So that's the key. The different time zones is what people worry about a lot. Because as you make those schedules, you can kind of see, hey, am I covering all my time? And do I always have someone responsible? And am I respecting people's work-life balance, right? When you go on call, it's naturally not a fun thing to do. And if you can respect those people's work-life balance, yes. Okay.
So your core target was, you said, web hosts and who else?
So we have, the first core target is other software as a service companies. The second one is the Fortune 500 companies with the internal IT departments, but web hosting companies could also benefit from this.
So it just occurred to me, what about utilities? I mean, SMUD and PG&E are just swamped with this heat, with calls to go out and repair units and whatnot. What about contacting some of them and working on call through utilities or city services?
So that's actually a great question. I've actually reached out to SMUD. One of the qualifications to work with SMUD is you have to get your electricity through them.
Oh.
Yeah, and so our offices actually aren't in their service area, so I can't really work with them. But I think they could benefit from a system like this.
You might also reach out to hospitals' IT departments and let some of the hospitals. There's a couple in the area, and they get a lot of pressure to reduce downtime, probably even more than airports or anyone else, because your software goes down, people die.
Yeah. So I think
There's a tagline.
Yeah.
people die.
It's a very direct thing.
He has a great point. One of the things that I have to be aware of, though, in this business venture is that healthcare providers, this is currently not HIPAA certified. There are things
to be, right? Because it's just reporting to their people that are getting there. It doesn't have anything to do with patient data.
Well, if it didn't have to do with patient data, they would be okay.
Yeah, it's just their IT.
But you have to be very careful that people weren't putting patient data in there.
That'd be an odd thing to bring.
Do y'all have any more questions? Y'all want me to kind of pick y'all's brains with some more slides?
Just a question about you sort of monitor the market and how much it's and sort of how it's growing. Do you have an idea of your competitors and their size? Can you gauge sort of how quickly the need of the market is growing?
Yeah, so actually going back to our competitors, PagerDuty is actually growing the fastest. I think they added 2,000 clients. That's different customers and companies this past year. For a small startup like me, that's even hard to keep up with. They're definitely growing. The software as a service industry, I think it was like projected to be like, I think it was like 122 billion. I had it on one of my slides before. So as we get into more Internet of Things, as more people build apps, as more things become software-based, this will be huge because our lives run on these systems.
Right.
And to make sure that there's uptime and you're not losing customer trust, I mean, it's really the face of your business. People, yeah, they'll be investing a lot in this.
But I mean, specifically more on the spend, because the overall market you know, that's talking about their total sales. I mean, do you have any more data on specifically spending, like what type of, you know, because yours is more of maybe of an IT spend, what the, you know, maybe smaller down to what their IT spends are, and then and whether or not your specific area in that is growing quickly, like by percentage-wise. Like that helps, I think, well, that would help me understand how this niche of the business is growing.
Sure. So right now I don't have any of that information on me. I know that it does vary from different organization to organization. One of the companies I worked at previously, I think it was like 35% of their spend was on IT. Now what percentage of that is for a tool like this, I think it just depends on what their needs are. But somewhere such as like a software as a service company might have more on IT spend or headcount in that area. So I would have to look that up for you. I don't have an answer right now, but I can get back to you.
Not the easiest information to find.
Yeah, it's really not. A lot of those things are private.
Well, if you got a public company, you can look in their 10 days and other things like that. You can get some information like that from a public company, but private is you just sort of a lot of it's if people are posting about them or they're doing articles about them, you can kind of glean some of that from self-reported numbers that they give you.
Sure. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Are any of your competitors on Salesforce?
That I do not know.
Okay.
I have to look it up.
That would be a pretty good, I mean, if they are, a pretty good distribution channel.
Okay.
You know, you just launch a Salesforce app, front end and market it.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a company here in town called DialSource.
DialSource.
DialSource, they do call automation.
Okay.
So they're actually integrated with Salesforce. There's a Salesforce app. You should probably get in touch with them
Okay.
and just ask them about that strategy, because it sounds like something that would be beneficial for you.
Yeah, can we talk about that afterwards? Yeah.
It's a good idea. They have tons of apps that are like a la carte. Once you get Salesforce installed, there's like IDs to go press the ones you want. And they're all very nice and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's a great one.
I'd love to look at that. Okay.
Would it be possible to use your application outside of incidents, like possibly for sales teams? I've built something in the past where we ran commercials at random times of the day, and when too many calls came in, we'd send alerts to the sales team to be on the phone, to be ready to be on call, or to reply to people that had questions about a product. I don't know if there's something outside of just like websites going down or IT things failing, but if you tie it into possibly the sales funnel,
Sure.
notify like a sales team instead of an IT team when there's like customers that are ready to be reached out to.
That's a great question. And the answer to that is yes. So one of the things that we actually have is that you can have manual incident creation. We're not targeting that aspect, but you could do it, right? You could manually create incidents. Hey, call volume's way too high. And what we really abstract is the calling of teams to teams. So you don't even have to know who's on sales team B to get in contact with someone. You just know, hey, I need to get in contact with sales team B. Send them a message. So you could use it that way. You could.
Time for one more. Going once, going twice.
Got one comment. I have shirts out there if y'all are interested in free swag. So there's lots of shirts, and I just want to say thank y'all very much just for listening and all your questions. It's been great.
Excellent.